Hey guys, Ben from BensGameTime here, and welcome back to Flash Game Frenzy. Last episode, we took a look at the first 3 Balloons Tower Defense games, and today we're going to be taking a look at a few puzzle games.
Puzzle flash games can be very hit or miss. When done well, they can offer a fair challenge and incorporate interesting concepts. However, if they are done poorly, they can devolve into just guessing until you get a solution. First up today is Symphony. Symphony is a game where you must direct beams of particles to the circle that matches its color. You do this by placing these directional circles that extend the beam's movement. Later levels add in circles that combine 2 colors into one, and circles that split a beam into 2 separate beams. The game consists of 30 levels, and some later levels can actually be quite the challenge. The best and most unique part of this game is that when the beams hit their circles, music starts to play. In fact, this is the only way to get music in this game, as otherwise it is completely silent. Each color corresponds to a different sound, and when they come together, the music is downright beautiful. The music is very relaxing and is such a nice reward for solving each level's puzzle. There's not much else to say about Symphony. It's just a beautiful game with a unique concept of having the game's music be directly tied to its gameplay. Definitely recommend. Clockwork is a game where you must rotate and slide blocks to clear a path for the skier to escape. And I have just described everything this game offers. It's pretty simplistic and doesn't get more complicated than the base concept. You just slide or rotate blocks, and you do this for 30 levels. The game is honestly pretty easy, and there were a few levels where I just stumbled into the solution. There was very little trial and error, and maybe only a level or two had me scratching my head. The game is just kind of boring, which is a shame because I think the concept could work well if it was expanded on. As for a game that really builds upon its base concept, look no further than Sugar Sugar. Sugar Sugar has you draw paths to collect sugar and lead it to each mug in each level. This base concept is greatly expanded on, with color changing and color coded mugs, changing gravity, looping from the floor to the ceiling, and even split color mugs that take 2 different kinds of sugar. This game does a lot to give variety to its 30 levels, and it stays challenging and fresh. This is what I love to see in a puzzle game, as you can't exactly guess at the solution, but there isn't necessarily just one solution. Instead of moving pieces around until you get a solution, here you need to actively draw paths to move the sugar. Many later levels require you to move the sugar in different directions, meaning you need to close off some paths to open up new ones. This game really asks you to think on your feet at times, and it is truly a puzzle game. This game was great throughout the whole experience. I highly recommend you check this one out.
Puzzle games can be some of the best Flash games that you play. However, they can also be some of the most boring. Symphony and Sugar Sugar are wonderful puzzle games that are unique enough to capture your interest, while also being diverse enough to hold it. As for Clockwork, I believe it had some potential, but because it didn't do anything beyond what it set up at the beginning of the game, it just didn't hold my interest as much. Symphony, and Sugar Sugar especially, had me really work to figure out the solutions to some of the puzzles, while I just could guess my way through Clockwork. There are plenty of Puzzle Flash games to play, so maybe I'll come back to them for another episode. But next time, we'll be taking a look at something a bit different.